Hey everybody, it's Christy Birchfield. Today we are looking at Joshua chapter 7. We started looking at that yesterday, and so if you've missed anything, there's a link in the description below. You can always go back and check out that playlist and go back through everything we've done up to this point. But today we're going to talk about that sobering idea of exactly what is your life worth and what is the cost of disobedience. Now, a little bit of story time, I guess. I've worked a number of my years in professionally in HR, and so I've been a part of a number of different things HR, and a lot of that has included time doing investigations and making employment related decisions. And the ones that were always the most difficult for me to to work through is when I would be looking at a situation where someone stole a small amount of money and I was going to need to fire them because of that. It was a theft issue, and that was a non-negotiable at the company that I was working with. And those were always really hard for me to reconcile because I'm looking at this saying, you stole this small, I won't say insignificant because it's not usually insignificant, but this relatively small compared to your salary amount of money, and you're going to lose your job because of this. And was that really worth it? Is the question that comes to mind. That's exactly the question that comes to mind every time I read this story in Joshua chapter 7. Achan has gone and he's been part of the conquering army that's gone through Jericho. While there, even though Joshua and God told them nothing, they are to take nothing. Everything is to either be killed or brought and sacrificed to God. We see that Achan has actually taken some stuff. And in chapter 7, verse 21, he confesses to Joshua and says, when I saw in the plunder a beautiful robe from Babylonia, 200 shekels of silver, and a bar of gold weighing 50 shekels, I coveted them, and I took them. They're hidden in the ground inside my tent, with the silver underneath. And that, as it turns out, ends up being what was the price of obedience. What was the price of his life? That was what he ended up being valued at. He valued that more than obedience to God. And it cost him his life. It cost him everything. We have to understand our obedience and our disobedience. Our disobedience costs us. Our obedience is a blessing. But our disobedience, there's a cost. And we may not pay it right away. It may be some time, but there's always a cost to disobeying God. And we need to make sure that we understand, is that cost worth what we're going to try to gain from this disobedience? And the answer is never. It's never worth it. There's never a time where disobeying God is worth the cost. We will always have to pay. When we are looking at God, we must recognize that He is holy, He is just, He's righteous. And while He does forgive and He offers that for certain circumstances, that does not negate His holiness. And we have to understand that God will judge sin. He will judge our disobedience. That is why we need Jesus Christ. That's why we need His sacrifice, because His sacrifice is what provides us the opportunity for the forgiveness that God offers us. Without that, we don't have His forgiveness. So if we've not accepted Christ into our life, we are not experiencing the forgiveness and mercy of God, and we are subject to His judgment at any time. What is your life worth? What is your disobedience going to cost you? Come to Christ. Seek Him. Accept His forgiveness and His lordship in your life. That's the call. We're going to move on to chapter 8 tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe so that you can keep with us as we see Israel begin again, and start over from where they were. We'll see you tomorrow.